Happy New Year, everyone. This is Red with RedRagLeo.com. Tonight is January 1st, 2011. 1111. And I spent about probably 4 or 5 hours just writing this post, let alone editing the pictures and graphics on this. So obviously I'm probably not going to do one for Monday or Tuesday unless something major happens. But I'm just expecting, like I said, for us to go up to our fake print probably this week and hit it, and then turn down. And this will be our downside target, Dow 8300. It's the first of our fake prints on the way down. Well, actually, there's the 106 print on the SPY, which could be our first target, and then this would be, a final target before a really nice bounce up, multi-week bounce. So, I don't know how long it's going to take to get to this print. It could be, middle of the year. It's hard to say. It could be the end of the year. I don't know. But if it goes down as fast as we think it might in the Great Depression 2 here, it's going to get there quick. So, and that's, this little thing that's showing up here is the toolbar. The toolbar is allowing you to click there and share that picture with whoever you want. So I encourage you to pass this post around to anyone you want. Use the toolbar below, sign in, and post it at different places. It helps promote the blog and gets me more traffic, and therefore people click on the ads, the Google ads, and and I make a little bit of money. So I appreciate that. Anyway, when I went through this, there's a lot of stuff I covered here, lots of outbound links for you to check out. The video here with the Simpsons video, since Lindsey Williams has repeatedly stated that the Illuminati have told him, and not just any Illuminati members, but the elite, the ones that run the country, about a dozen people or a dozen families, since they have told him clearly that oil is going to go to $150 to $200 a barrel, and that we're going to have World War III. This is still, it could happen. We just may not know how to read it. I just threw this up here and thought, well, if I was to read this, I would say it was 5 minutes till 6. Well, 5 is the 5th month, which is May, and 6 is, obviously the 6th date. So it could be May the 6th. You could also go 6/11, which would be 6th month, 11th day, June 11th. Or you could also just simply go 6 with 11, meaning 2011, if it's mean June 2011. No way of knowing, but I'm sure after the fact we'll figure it out and look at it and go, oh yeah, it was foretold to us. We just didn't know how to read it. Well, right in here, supposed to be Lindsey Williams's video. It's a short one. It's just a recap of the same one. It's only about 3 minutes long, but it's only 2 weeks old as of doing this. This one's only 2 weeks old, and Lindsey, talks about the run on silver that's going to come from there being basically 8 to 1, 8 times as many contracts out on it as there is actual physical silver available. So we got this fake print here of silver, that I had got from some time back, showing $84.30, and that could very well be the very first target. As you know, we're already just hovering under 30 right now. I think we're like $28 or $29 on or something on silver right now. So 84 is very, very possible. So that might be the only currency, that people are willing to trade with. So, get you some silver coins. Well, I go into a lot of stuff here, folks, and some of it might blow your mind, but, just look at it with an open mind and go and check out her videos. You can click on the link there and go to it, her videos, and it's going to take you some time. I mean, I watched hers about a year ago, and I think I watched 4 hours of hers or something like that. So it's not something to do, during stock market times, but just for your general education on what we are as immortal beings, and and you know, she really goes over a lot of spiritual stuff that, and she ties it in, you know, with the Bible and things like that, and so I've talked a little bit about that here and on that as well. I put a link here to Ben Fulford's main site. It's but it is a subscription site, but you can go there and see, if we click on it here, his main site, it still gives you you know, some information here. Of course, if you want to subscribe to it, you can, but I think Ben's a really good guy, and one of the good guys in trying to get information out there to the public, although, you know, some of it I'm sure is meant to misdirect us as well, that he is being fed information. But you know, I don't doubt that they have made attempt on his life many times. As he has stated, he's had 3 or 4 attempts, you know, hits put out on his life, and they were called off because of people that the good guys basically went and told the people that were going to do the assassinating that they'd better back off, or else they'd be assassinated, and they did. So you know, so I like the guy, but you know, his timing is awful in a lot of these things. So, but it's still good information to read, and you know, if you know, I will sometimes just copy a paragraph here and search for it on Google, and after a week or two, it seems to appear on some site. Somebody posts it somewhere so that you can read the whole post. If you go through and search for it, I haven't bothered to do that, but he's, you know, still harping on the same thing. The Federal Reserve Bank is going to go under. Here he says expected to last until August 1st of 2011. You know, maybe they'll last that long. I don't know. He was saying they were going to fold up by the end of December of last year. So, and I didn't know if that date was going to be possible or not, but this date looks very possible, especially if we start to have a stock market crash between now and then, which I definitely believe we will. Unless there's a new upside fake print, I still think that the 118.16 is going to be the high in the market, and will be put in probably here in this first week of January. If there's a new print that come out that I haven't seen yet, then yeah, it's possible we could go higher, I guess. You know, if that one's void now, you know, with the fact that I've exposed it here heavily on this blog, they may change it, but then again, they may not. You know, many times I think that they go ahead and put this out there in public, just like Lindsey Williams says, that the part of the elites, the gangster gang, as part of their rituals, I guess, is they have to inform us sheep what they're going to do to us before they do it to us. So, you know, maybe that's part of it. So they just told us, hey, this is where we're going to take the market, and then it's going to go down to a crash. First target is probably that 106 in the SPY. Next target would probably be the 106 here. I'll show you that again. Oops, let's go back to here. The 106 again is going to be, we'll get to that. And these are some of the other fake prints. The 106 was from, I don't know, several weeks back, or maybe a month back now. There's this one. That one's already been fulfilled. There it is. 106 right here. That could very well be the first target down, you know, because, and then that's going to correlate to what? I don't know what on the Dow it's going to be. I don't know what that's going to correlate to in the Dow. I couldn't really tell you. If we matched it up here with some other charts here, 106, that's about 1060. So on the Dow, that's probably going to be just over in the 10,000, the low 10,000 range. I'll just leave it at that. So just have to wait and see when that happens. But here's the 8300 print that we still have, that was taken on July 5th, 2010 was the date that this was taken, and it was showing up. It showed up all day that day. So, you know, when's it going to happen? I don't know, but I think that it's going to be a turning point for us. And certainly, if you look at it and you see where it hits right here at that low right there in the sell-off, that matches up directly with this low right here of about 870 range or something, 860 to 870 range, right in here on the SPX. And so when you look at that and you look at the, of course, there's our gold print, 3,500 on gold. After we go down first, okay? Here's our downside print, 935. There's the print on the ES, and it shows about 885 is what it's showing. Then I got that one back on 10-1, it looks like. So I thank everyone for sending me these prints. I can't possibly catch them all. So when you email them to me and stuff like that, I do appreciate that. Here's one that was emailed to me as well, showing FAS at 25.95. That's not really that high, but you know, that might be just equal to the move going down to 106. Very possible. And of course, here's Goldman. And again, this Goldman print, if WikiLeaks is going to release some information about the banks, then this could very well be the downside target for Goldman. And this is showing a print of $13.10 for Goldman. So, you know, my question with WikiLeaks is, why haven't they already released this information? Why didn't they release it when they got it? Why are they holding off on it? Why are you going public and telling people you've got it, waving a carrot in everybody's face, and then not releasing it until a certain day? That's just a bunch of crap. To me, once you know, you have the information and it's verified that it's accurate, you go ahead and release it immediately. You don't wait. So the fact that, you know, they are waiting to release this information. Here's our JP Morgan one as well, showing them down to a low of $31.02. So the fact that you're not releasing this information tells me that just exactly what I put right here. That I'd already read somewhere else that George Soros, who is part of the Illuminati, of course, along with Warren Buffett, he's funding them, WikiLeaks, okay? And the Rothschilds here are helping aid in the defense to defend him. And you can thank Seeker 401 for catching this as well. And you can read this as well, and it clearly states, and I'm in agreement with him as well. He made an early call on Julian Assange that you know, when you're rubbing shoulders with the world's elite, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Yeah, I said that too. I agree with him on this. I definitely think that when you get so much media coverage like this, you can pretty much expect that that is being allowed, that they are allowing that media coverage to happen for a reason. They're going to use WikiLeaks to expose the banks, and that's going to be the reason to crash the market. They're already going to be out of it. You know, as I wrote on a previous post sometime back, that back in November 15th or something like that, I believe, through the 18th, the insider selling was at, I don't know, historic levels, like 8,250 to 1, I believe was the number. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But so 8,000 to 1 or whatever, roughly. I don't think it's changed any. If anything, it's probably went up. Bottom line is they are selling, they are bailing out, they know what's coming. Okay. There's a story here about the time traveler as well. And if we go over this, I find it intriguing, to say the least. I won't dismiss any indication or anything that makes sense to me. As Spock might say, if you eliminate the logical, then everything left is, I think what was the exact quote? If you eliminate the impossible, then everything left was the improbable, or something like that. I don't know what the bottom line was. Can't remember that quote. Maybe you can look that up for me. It was in one of the Star Trek movies, but it was about the one with the boots that they couldn't figure out how anyone had beamed off the ship and went over and blew up another ship without gravity boots. And they were looking for these boots, and they were searching the ship looking for these gravity boots that this person, supposedly wore. Anyway, so if you eliminate the possibility here, here's a guy who, here's the facts. The FBI claims, okay, this is not conspiracy theories. The FBI is claiming that this guy Carlson took $800 and turned it into $350 million in 2 weeks. Okay, then it says here that he made 126 high-risk trades and came out a winner every time. Okay, now let's eliminate, the odds here and think outside the box, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Or let's look at the odds, I guess. I'm a little tongue-tied tonight. I guess I'm a little tired from writing a long post, but let's just think outside the box here for a moment. What are the odds of him contacting 100 or having contact with 126 insiders? It doesn't have to be 126 insiders, but let's just say a multitude of insiders that all have some inside information about their particular company or some particular stock or ETF that's going to move on a certain date, and because they know it. Most of the insiders for that part, you got to realize that most of the insiders are only inside for their own company. So, Gordon Gekko, for example, in the Wall Street movie, he's going to know all the people inside, the CEOs of the various companies, whether it was Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, whatever. If you knew 126 CEOs and every single one of them told you that, hey, our earnings are coming out all in this little 2-week period, and they're going to be good, they're going to be horrible, and you can short our stock and make money, blah, blah, blah. And they just happen to just roll one right after another, all 126 of them, where you literally could take 800, turn it into 8,000, take 8,000, do options and turn it into 80,000, take 80,000, etc., and turn it into $350 million. Where none of them overlapped. You were able to get in and out on each and every one of these, all in a 2-week period of time. 126 straight trades, not a single losing trade, all from insiders now. And you tell me this guy, who had $800 to his name, is the guy who did all this. And why wouldn't it have been somebody like Lloyd Blankfein or from Goldman Sachs, or Jamie Dillon from JP Morgan or Citibank? Sorry. Anyway, why wouldn't it be one of these people that are already on the inside? How is it this guy, a nobody, is able to do this? Okay, so you need to go back and reread this story. You can't dismiss time travel no more than you can dismiss the fact that 100 years ago or so, people didn't think we'd ever fly, or maybe go back 200 years. They thought, no way, you can't fly, man can never fly, and definitely we can't go to the moon. Well, we did all those things, so you have to think about this from the future. Is time travel possible? I think it is. You should definitely take the time, reread this story, because this guy's clearly stating that the greatest stock market crash in history happened during this time period. Now, is that, or was that the 2008 crash that we had? I don't think so. that didn't rival 1929. So that means it's yet to come. That means it's going to come this year and next year. It's coming. So that's just one of 8 reasons I list here on the blog as to why I think that the top is going to be in, and we're going to have a great stock market crash, this coming year. They go on to talk about Nostradamus was a time traveler too, and that's the way he's able to see things into the future. So, interesting read. Take the time to read that. The other thing here, I went on some of the other links here on the site. I put a link here to Project Camelot's interview of Dan Burish, and it'll take you a little while to watch these. They're each one's 2 or 3 hours long. And in the first interviews are the main ones, because this is when he was probably still being fed real information because he first came onto the scene. Now, the later interviews, he probably is getting disinformation because they obviously caught him and seen him on YouTube, and they're like, okay, well, we can't just go kill you now. We got to keep you on because you're popular, so we can't go kill you and validate it all, so we'll just feed you disinformation. So I suspect that he's getting disinformation later on. But watch the first video here of him. I think it speaks a lot of truth, and this one here as well, the 2002 one. I watched these about a year ago. This tells a lot about the alien situation, about what's going on. And okay, so I go over these reasons right here, folks. The 2012 date is less than 2 years away now. According to the Mayan calendar, the world as we know it ends. Well, it is the belief of many people who have talked and spoken with good aliens that it's simply the end of the reign of the Illuminati, the reptilians, the demon worshiping Illuminati that are still human, and the ones that are reptilians, shapeshifters, or whether they're shapeshifters or using holographic technology so that we can't see them, I don't know. But there's plenty of evidence that they are, in fact, reptilians, not humans anymore. You can go on YouTube and see the videos of George Bush and Obama and countless others. They've all either been replaced by reptilians or they were always a reptilian. I don't know. But with only less than 2 years to go, something big is going to happen between now and 2012. I can't see this market just floating around and just not crashing, because they're going to go out for bang. They're going to do everything they can. Remember, Lindsey Williams said they're going to try to start World War III, probably this year. Now, those original videos that he had said that in, he had put a time frame of 12 to 18 months. That was back in January of 2010. So, now we got about 6 months left. So, in the middle of this year, it's possible we could be going to war. So keep that in mind. And remember, he was told by someone who was on his dying bed, that's 84 years old. And it's very common for people to spill their guts at that time. They actually have a little compassion and emotion, I guess. They want to do the right thing before they die, mainly because they're afraid they're going to go to hell. If it's, I don't really believe that it exists. I think it's, you can go wherever you want, but, that's just based upon what these fifth-dimensional aliens from future humans, I should say, from 52,000 years in the future, have basically stated that it's all in your, it's your mind. It's make it what you want. But anyway, that's another story. So you got the time traveler, you got the fake prints, which, this whole website started off a year ago being just a simple technical blog and nothing much to it. I mean, I just was learning the technical analysis of it and things like that, and then I started seeing those fake prints, and one thing led to another, and you can of course see that first print by going down here to my photos. I'm going to upload more for you. If you go down here, you can click on the link here for the photos. It'll take you right to the I'll have to upload more of these over the next few days, but I haven't done it yet. But the 97 point drop right here, showing 1047 on the SPX. And exactly 3 weeks later, going into the Legatus pilgrimage, is when it bottomed. So I think we're going to do the same thing with the Legatus pilgrimage, which happens to be this 3rd through the 5th of this February. So I think we're going to hit our fake print and run down and hit that 8,300, possibly, or at least the 106, maybe for a bounce. If it really gets bad, we could hit the 8,300. I don't know if it's going to go that low or not because it ain't that much time, but we should certainly go down and hit that 106 and bottom right into that Legatus pilgrimage and then do a bounce. And then later in the year go on down and for a wave 3 of a wave 3 on down to 8,300. That's just my guessing at this, okay? So the fake prints have worked in the past. So unless I expose them too much, then I still believe they're going to continue to work. And this is a major fake print, the Dow 118 one again. When you click on it right here with Flicker, and you see the 118 again. I've showed it 100 times, but if this is your first time watching the video, this was a print back on March the 30th of this year. The market was nowhere near that. That's about 11,800. And so, you know, that's where the market's going to go. I do believe it. Volume indicates it as well. 7 and 4 makes 11. That means 111 is a very important number to the Illuminati. So, you know, these are important things. And 5, and right there, 506. You see the 506 on the time. That is 5 and 6 makes 11. Again, showing 11 and 11, 11. These are very important numbers for the Illuminati. So this tells me that it is a valid fake print. And then there's obviously the WikiLeaks getting too much attention, being sponsored, getting money from the elite, from the gangsters. Tells me that they are in on this to some degree, and that they are going to release the information when they are told to release it. Whether or not Julian Assange is a good guy or a bad guy, I don't know. He's probably a good guy and just being used, you know, and told to do this. He's being misguided, probably. And then you got, you know, Elliott Wave, people like Robert Prechter and others, Elliott Wave, and you can clearly, you know, see that we're getting ready to go into a primary wave 3, a huge wave 3 down this year. So Elliott Wave, you know, also saying that we should crash this year. And then there's the technical analysis of it that you would go and watch, you know, like the chart pattern guy, Ron Walker, is very good at it. And I know he's very, very frustrated as well with the market going against his calls, because he can clearly see it's manipulated now. And so, as I've said before in the past, I think he's tasted the red pill now. He's a good guy, but he's always been, in the past, kind of, you know, like supportive of Bernanke. And that was a year ago, and now he's like, Bernanke's an idiot. You know, he doesn't really get out there and cuss and raise Cain, but he could, which I think is funny. When I see, you know, people like him, you know, take the little bit of the dark side, I realize that you know, it's getting out there, it's getting exposed, and that's a good thing. So we know it's real. And of course, you know, the extreme high bullish to bearish sentiment readings that are off the charts right now, and we know that they're going to go even higher as we go up there to that 118 print. And as the mass media talks about the new bull market, well, you know, a top is near. And then, of course, here's another fact that the Fed has, for the last few months now, they have been buying their own debt, and they have now accumulated more debt than China. And, you know, in the last, I don't know, 50 years or 60, 70 years, it's always been other countries that own the most debt of the United States treasuries and bonds and things. They were China was buying them up like crazy. It's just, you know, they were the #1 buyer of the debt. Now the United States government, the Federal Reserve, owns more of its own debt than anyone else. It's literally like borrowing from one credit card to pay off another. You're going to run out of credit cards at some point, and I believe that's exactly what's going to happen. You just cannot keep it up. It's literally like eating your finger when you're hungry, when there's no food around. You keep eating your fingers, then you eat your toes, and eventually you die. Okay, you have nothing left to eat. Well, the Fed is going to end. There's no question about it. So that's my 8 reasons. Also, here's the Spiral Guys chart, and you know, I put this I went to, where is he at? Let's see here. His latest chart, and his link is in my blog row under astrology. So you can see he's got a 3.5 reading. That means 3.5 different things, I believe, coincide at that particular date. The higher these numbers, the more likely these are turn dates. Doesn't mean they're up or down. Doesn't mean they go down or up. It just simply means that they're turn dates. This 4.5 sure does coincide with the 9th, which ironically, you know, would be 1/9/11. 9/11. You get it? 2011. 9th date 11. So that's on a Sunday. If we hit our high Friday, speculation on my part, if we hit the DIA 11816 on Friday, you can look, it would be my estimate that they're going to release that information on from WikiLeaks to be the false flag event, that they would release that over the weekend, and the 9th would be, you know, going into Monday, you'd see a Black Monday like you would never believe. Whatever it would be, the banks would just collapse and stuff like that. The 9/11 here, I put this up again, and I kind of already briefly mentioned this, I think I have, that it's possible that in this date we've read this wrong. When you go back and relook at the video with the clock and stuff like that, you'll see that I think I already mentioned it here with the clock. I put the clock in here somewhere, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. You know, well, same thing. You know, the 5 and it could be 5 minutes till 6, which is May 6th. It could be 6/11, which is June of 2011. It's still, you know, it's all in how you read it, folks. And so I think I've covered everything that I can think of here. And Reinhardt on his site, he's not saying either, but he is pointing to the 3rd and the 5th, the Legatus pilgrimage, as being something important again. And I think it's going to be another bottom, at least a short-term bottom, before the market bounces up for like a wave 2. And then later in midsummer or something, we have a wave 3 of a wave 3, which will be massive. And that'll take us down to that 8300 print, I believe. So anyway, I appreciate if you pass this along. Hit share buttons here, hit share buttons here. I've got them everywhere. Go down to the toolbar, hit your share buttons here. Pass the post around. I do appreciate that. Whether you agree or disagree, you know, there's a lot of good information in it. And, you know, post your comments up, whatever you want to say. And I'm open-minded. I'll listen to anybody. But this is just, you know, my putting all this together and trying to figure out where the market's going to go, so that you know, we can figure out if we're going to be able to profit from this move or not. And everything to me tells me that yes, this will be the final top, and we will roll over and crash this year. So okay, guys, sorry for the long video, but you know, it was a long post, so you just have to take your time to watch it. Of course, if you've already got to the end of it, then and you listen to me right now, then you know that's a long post. Okay, guys, Happy New Year, everyone, and do take the time to post. With the discuss issue, remember that you have to refresh the page now to see the comments show up. I'll leave this on right here, and nobody seems to be going in here, but you've got to log in with your Facebook, Twitter account. I'd like to find a bar down here that will allow you to log in with your Discuss account, but I can't find them. I've looked around the internet and I don't see any, and this is not an app that you can add to here to allow you to log in with your Discuss account, which is very frustrating. So they do Facebook, Yahoo, and you know, Twitter, and they allow you to log in only 4 different ways, which really stinks because maybe some of you don't have all those different accounts. So, but okay, that's it, guys. Thanks a lot. See ya.